writer is a person for whom writing is more difficult than it is for other people, by Thomas Mann. There are lots of teaching writing practices that would greatly help students to improve themselves. It would require more knowledge and skills from the teacher who creates, plans, and guides students. They should also give them motivation in doing these best practices. I have searched for some of the best practices in teaching writing for students, and these are some practices I think can help to create a capable, motivated, and creative writer. First in line is the daily writing time.
1. Daily writing time.
It is an important but often neglected classroom routine. Writing practice offers realms of benefits for students, and your classroom will be bursting with success. A successful teacher instructs students to see themselves as authors, and one of the most tried and tested practices of an author is writing every day. So why not practice what you teach? Setting aside at least 10 minutes each day for writing time is beneficial to students' growth as writers. When getting started with a daily routine, teachers can choose from various writing resources and methods. However, daily writing time should be non-negotiable in your classroom. So once you start daily writing time, your students will gain confidence and improve their writing skills. Second is the writing process. The writing process refers to the steps someone takes to compose a text. That said, every individual writer follows his or her own writing process, and it usually comes naturally to them. The writing process is a series of steps to help you write a paper. It is like a map to get to an unfamiliar place. The process in which some mastery at one level is essential before the learner advances to the next level. So here are some basic writing practices steps that are universally referred and followed. Understanding them will help you develop your very own writing practice more easily. So let's begin with our 5 steps and writing process. Stage 1. The pre-writing. Pre-writing is the time to think. It is the stage in which you explore possible topics. Choose a topic and then gather details you can include in your writing. So you have to bear in mind that we should decide on our purpose or reason for writing. So what are you trying to accomplish? We need to determine the type of essay we're going to write. Next is we need to identify who will read or listen to the written work. So who will be your audience? It could be your peers, your teachers, or someone else. Next is choose the topic of focus for your writing. What exactly is that you are writing about? This is very important. Next is brainstorm ideas about the subject. So what information about the topic you need to gather? After recognizing the subject you are going to write, it's also the time to determine what else they need to find out. Let's begin in stage 2, drafting. This is the time to write. So in this stage, they need to gather the data to put on the paper. So we must bear in mind to put the information that they brainstormed into a language appropriate to the assignment. There should be no slang, text speak, but they really need to use the proper grammar. Next is to write sentences or paragraphs, even if they are not perfect. Don't worry about the grammar and conventions at this point. The third one is read what you have written and judge if it is what you really mean. So are you getting your point across? Is it clear? If not, then let's have last revise your plan. If it's not working, go back to stage 1, which is the pre-writing, the time to make a change. Now let's have stage 3, the revising time. This is the time to make it better. Oftentimes, this stage is skipped, and students also are confused with just rewriting. Now, let's bear in mind with these steps. Read what you have written again. Yes, you actually have to reread your writing. Second, rearrange words that you have written again. Are you using the same sentence order time after time again? Or is it time to look for a compound and complex sentences? Then take out or add the parts. Do all the parts of the writing support your purpose or topic? If not, then it's time to adjust. Next is replace dead or unclear words. So these are the words they repeatedly use. Samples are very, a lot, and more. Now it's time to check for some source and make it better. And the fourth stage, proofreading. This is the time to make it correct. This is the time to catch the errors written on their paper. This will make a great impact on their paper, though not everything will be caught. Now, let's be sure that all sentences are correct. So you must have the subject and the verb. You must also consider correct spelling, capitalization, and punctuation. Have you made sure you have followed the rules of grammar? Is the first word of the sentence capitalized? Do all sentences have punctuation at the end? Lastly, change the words that are not used correctly. So watch out for homophones. They are deadly. The last stage is the final draft, stage 5. This is the time to share the final product. This is the accumulation of what they put together from the previous stages. So have someone check your work. This is a great way to edit each other's work. This is a way to identify the mistakes from others' work. Now, let's proceed to the third best practice. Teaching the foundational skills is the third best practice. Students need to learn from foundational writing skills so that they can focus more on developing and communicating ideas in their writing, such as spelling, sentence construction, typing, and word processing. That should come effortless as students move to middle and upper elementary school. Younger students need explicit instruction and frequent practice to acquire and polish their skills. Mastering the foundational skills of handwriting, spelling, sentence construction, and word processing is essential, for it will help them clearly communicate their ideas in writing. Writing is a process that begins with learning these foundational skills and leads to students being able to devote more attention and developing and conveying their thoughts. The last best practice that I'd like to share is creating an engaged community of writers. This is establishing a community of writers involves creating a support writing environment. Teachers should participate as writers as well. This allows students opportunities to choose their own topics and encourage the collaboration and feedback in and out of the classroom. This should also publish students' writing and extend the community beyond the classroom. Creating an engaged community of writers help convey the message that writing is important, valued, and rewarding. Implementing activities such as those suggested can help teachers create a supportive classroom environment in which students feel connected to one another and engage in the writing process with their peers. Teaching is one of the challenging parts in teaching. Students may tend to get exhausted in writing since it's a skill that needs knowledge and abilities related to expressing ideas through the written work. But I do believe that with the help of a teacher, students will be motivated to do their best in writing with the help of a good teacher and well-implemented practice in teaching writing. This has been Nikki Panes sharing some of the best practices in teaching writing. Thanks for watching.